I didn't really grow up with much of a family. We bounced around from family members to group homes. I do remember sleeping in the park. Didn't think much about it. To me, that was just how life was. But the streets became our family. That's the only life that I knew. I hated everything about living. Because I grew up with family that put me at risk when I was younger, and I was raped by my cousin the whole time we lived with them, every day. I was 8 years old. When my son was around 18 months old, my fiance at the time, and who was his father, we were walking home from the grocery store. We were talking, and then he wasn't there anymore. So when I turned back around to look at the car with the sparks, his body rolled off the car. And next few minutes, he died in my arms. And then 2 months later, I found out that our baby had a terminal illness. This little guy who changed my world, he was a bright light in my life, the only bright light I've ever seen. He made it past 8 years old. He got to experience a whole lot. He was sworn into the Army. That was his dream and the love of his life. So during my last pregnancy, I ended up going into labor early, and she came out with all of her insides on the outside of her body. They called it gastroschisis. Finally, when we got it all situated, my kids and I ended up at the Ronald McDonald house right across the street from Dallas Children's Hospital. And that was the beginning of a journey I didn't know was gonna be the rest of my life differently. A family didn't like the fact that I was walking all the time and had my kids in the hospital. They donated a van to me. Then I applied to Buckner with a sheet of everything that I needed to do when I applied. And so I got accepted and we moved in, and definitely became my home. I was saved and baptized. I go to church. It's one of the number one things, a part of my life. I do believe in God. I do believe in hope. I do believe in myself, my children. Buckner provided a completely different life, a completely different answer, strength, in a different way. I didn't have to depend on myself anymore. I had a family. I feel like a normal human now. I'm still just a mom, but I'm a very highly educated mom now. From the streets, I would never have guessed, never. About to get my bachelor's. I found hope I never had, never experienced hope. Hope's not an easy thing to find. Trusting other people is not an easy thing to do. And being here at Buckner, I've transformed somehow into a leader myself. I can tell you how much it hurts, but I can't tell you why me. I can't do that, because in my heart, Jesus died for all of us. He suffered in a way that we can't even fathom. Physically, emotionally, mentally. And the fact that God gave up his only son to go through all of that for us. The whole point here is to be self-sufficient. And Buckner, I believe, they're on a mission to let moms know that, hey, you can live a better life. You know, they say it takes a village to raise your children. Buckner is that village. To me, Buckner has been a helping hand. It has been an open door that don't exist for many people. If I wasn't here at Buckner, the way my kids were be raised, and the most likely outcome is terrifying. The chains have been broken being here. My kids do not know that life. And I'm so thankful for that. Buckner has been our saving grace.